In the ancient city of Basra, the tales of Sinbad the Sailor were as famous as the city's bustling marketplaces. Known for his daring spirit and countless adventures, Sinbad was always in search of new mysteries and treasures. One evening, as he sat with his crew in a lively tavern, an old man shared a tale that captured Sinbad's imagination. It was the legend of the ROC, a giant bird whose eggs were said to be as large as houses and filled with unimaginable riches. Intrigued by the legend, Sinbad decided to seek out the ROC's egg. He gathered his loyal crew, stocked the Golden Falcon with supplies, and set sail at dawn. The journey was long and perilous, taking them across uncharted waters and through raging storms. But Sinbad's determination and the crew's unwavering trust in their captain kept their spirits high. After weeks at sea, they spotted a distant island that matched the description given by the old man. The island was lush and green, with towering cliffs and dense forests. As they approached, a sense of foreboding settled over the crew. Sinbad, however, felt only excitement and anticipation. They anchored the Golden Falcon in a sheltered bay and made their way ashore. The island was teeming with life. Vibrant birds of every color flitted through the trees, and exotic plants lined their path. Sinbad led his crew through the forest, guided by the old man's directions and his own keen instincts. After hours of trekking, they came upon a massive clearing. In the center of the clearing stood a colossal nest made of twisted branches and leaves. Inside the nest was an enormous egg, gleaming in the sunlight. The ROC's egg was even more magnificent than Sinbad had imagined. It was as tall as 3 men and radiated a faint, otherworldly glow. Sinbad and his crew approached it cautiously, marveling at its sheer size and beauty. As they stood in awe, the ground trembled beneath their feet. Sinbad realized that the ROC itself might be nearby, and they needed to act quickly. Working together, they began to devise a plan to transport the egg back to their ship. They fashioned a sturdy platform from fallen trees and vines, using all their strength to lift the egg onto it. Just as they secured it, a deafening screech echoed through the clearing. Sinbad looked up to see the ROC, a gigantic bird with wings spanning the sky, descending toward them with alarming speed. Quickly, to the ship, Sinbad shouted. His crew heaved the platform and began to run. The ROC's powerful wings created gusts of wind that nearly knocked them off their feet. Sinbad drew his sword, ready to defend his men, but he knew they couldn't fight the mighty bird head-on. As they reached the edge of the forest, the ROC swooped down, its talons extended. In a desperate move, Sinbad slashed at the bird's claws, causing it to veer off course momentarily. This gave his crew the precious seconds they needed to reach the beach. With the ROC hot on their heels, they pushed the platform onto their boat and rowed frantically back to the Golden Falcon. The ROC circled above, screeching in fury, but the crew managed to hoist the egg onto their ship. As they set sail, the ROC pursued them, its shadow casting a dark pall over the sea. Sinbad ordered his men to unfurl the sails and head for open water. The Golden Falcon surged forward, but the ROC was relentless. In a bold move, Sinbad took one of the ship's catapults and loaded it with a barrel of oil. Setting the barrel alight, he aimed at the ROC and fired. The flaming projectile hit the bird, causing it to shriek in pain and retreat. With the ROC temporarily driven off, they sailed as fast as they could, eventually losing sight of the island and its guardian. Exhausted but victorious, Sinbad and his crew celebrated their daring escape. They inspected the ROC's egg, curious about the treasures it might hold. Carefully, they cracked it open, revealing a cache of precious gems and golden artifacts nestled within the yolk. The wealth was beyond their wildest dreams, but Sinbad knew that the true reward lay in their shared experience and the bond forged in the face of danger. Upon their return to Basra, Sinbad and his crew were greeted with awe and admiration. The tale of their encounter with the ROC and the magnificent egg became one of the most celebrated stories in the city. The riches they brought back were used to improve the lives of their fellow citizens, and Sinbad's legend grew even greater. Yet, for Sinbad, the adventure was never about the treasure. It was about the thrill of discovery, the challenges overcome, and the memories made with his loyal crew. As he sat by the docks, watching the sunset over the sea, Sinbad felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He knew that many more adventures awaited, and he was ready to face them with the same courage and curiosity that had always driven him. And so, Sinbad the Sailor continued his legendary voyages, ever in search of new horizons and the wonders they held, his heart forever bound to the call of the unknown.